Hello, everybody. Um, I hope everything went okay yesterday. Diana, don't worry, we will try it practically today. We will open PubMed and we'll try to do the task of yesterday together. So don't worry about this.
Okay.
I just received your email, so I couldn't answer to you before.
Yeah, that's fine.
Elisa, can I ask you to watch the chat room in case somebody sends something? Because just notify me because I can't see that when I'm sharing my screen. So
Okay.
thank you so much. So I will start. Hmm. Okay, do you see my screen? Is everything okay? Okay, so welcome to the second day. Yesterday we talked about information resources in general and about the basic rules, how to search for some topics. Today we will talk about PubMed, Cochrane, Google Scholar, and we will just mention about Ovid, Embase, and Web of Science. And I will provide you with tutorials for the things we are not going to do practically. So don't worry about that. And even those who will, we will try to work on practically, I'll also provide you with tutorials for them, because of course we can't use all the advanced tools in them. Then we will talk a little bit about the journal, how to choose a journal, and how to choose the source of information for your for each of your sentences in a manuscript. So first, does anybody have any question? Mhm. Okay, then we will move on, and I think today we will have a little bit of free time at the end to answer your questions. So here you can see a tutorial, but when I send you the slides, you will be able to watch it yourself. So now let's try to work on the example of yesterday. If you remember, we had marble bone disease and discitis. Okay, so we have two terms, we have two columns. For each one of them, discitis is a term, marble bone disease is also a term. Okay. So here on the left, you can see if I need, because I can search in different words, but the most common ones are mesh terms, title or abstract, or any place in the manuscript. Okay, so the colors now are to, if you remember, the most preferable one is mesh term. So if discitis is a mesh term and if marble bone disease is a mesh term, I will use them as a mesh term. Is that fine? So now I will move to PubMed Advanced, and please tell me if you can't follow any of the steps. I shared all my screen, so I think you should be able to see everything. So now, how can I? Here we will talk about mesh terms. For mesh terms, first we have their own website. Here you can see the website. This you can just put mesh term search, mesh browser, and this is the website where we can search for mesh terms. Okay, so all terms. I will start with marble bone disease to check if I can use it as a mesh term or not. Okay, so any fragment or fragment exact match. Let's see what will happen because I forgot the R. When I forget a letter and I say I need exact match, it will not give me anything. But when I put the right thing, but as you can see here, I wrote marble bone disease and it gave me osteopetrosis. Does anybody have any explanation for that?
Maybe osteopetrosis is the mesh term for marble bone disease?
Exactly. Those are the same thing. Here you can see before I searched marble bone disease on Google. Okay, so it says osteopetrosis, stone bone, marble bone disease, and also it has another name. So all of these names, if I search any of them in a mesh term, it will give me all of them osteopetrosis. Okay, so no harm in that. The problem is that okay. So now I have osteopetrosis as one of the terms. Here you can press on the tree number and it will tell you where does this disease stand. Here we have musculoskeletal diseases, bone diseases developmental, and this is the whole tree. I can take like a larger branch of the tree, or if it has branches for itself, I can also use them. Okay, so what else can I do? I will need to search discitis. And it says also discitis. However, here you can see that for the trees, I have 3 trees. Okay, so it belongs to 3 places. And those numbers are the codes for the trees. I'll press on any of them and it will show me the 3 of them. So it belongs to musculoskeletal diseases, infectious diseases, musculoskeletal diseases. It is the same tree as the first one, but another branch of it. Okay, so then discitis and marble bone disease are both, mesh terms. Okay, but I need to add more. Okay, so when I searched first, I thought that I have discitis and discitis with K as different terms, and I wanted to use them both. And I thought that osteopetrosis and marble bone disease are different terms, and I wanted to search them both. But when I went to the mesh term tree, I found that, okay, both of them are the same. Okay, so where do I get the first collection of terms? from Google, Wikipedia, wherever, any book, any article. But then I need to choose out of them which ones to use. Okay, so let's go and try that on PubMed. So here is the advanced search, and I think all of you tried to use it yesterday. So here I put mesh term, I choose mesh term, and here osteo petro. As you can see here, also osteopetrosis, there's with E, with I, both of them give the same collection. Okay, I added, and then I added to history. You can see here 2,661. Okay, and I need discitis. Here we can see discitis, add to history. And now I need to combine them, right? Till now, I found two terms, but both of them were both indexed with the same mesh term. So I do not need to do anything. So I will add this to query here and add this with and. Okay, I can add with or, but I need both terms, then so I will need to add with and. Then add to history, and I found 0 results. Okay, then when I think also all of you arrived at this stage. Is that right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think we need to do now? We need to expand our search, right? Expand our terms, expand our maybe the mesh term. We do not need to use mesh term now. We need to be more focused, sorry, not focused. We need to relax the rules. Okay, so what are our options? First option is to search discitis, but not as a mesh term. Search it in the whole text. Okay, so wherever it comes, tell me about discitis, because it is a secondary search, but the first search, marble bone disease, I need it as a mesh term. Okay, however, are there studies that do not mention marble bone disease and osteoporosis as a disease? It also can be, it can be that they mention high bone density or increased bone density, okay? But high bone density and increased bone density are not mesh terms, okay? I searched them and they're not mesh terms because they are not a medical term, okay? So can I try both of these tools? Yeah. First, I will try to use discitis, but searching all fields. Add, and I will add also discitis with K. Add with or. Add to history. So now instead of the 2,100, I have 2,700. Not very much, but more articles. Okay, it might increase my cases. Okay, and I said that I will add to osteoporosis as a mesh term. I will add it to the query and will add to it. But when I need to add increased bone density, where do you think I need to search for that? It can't be a mesh term. Sorry?
Somewhere in the text.
Somewhere in the text it can be, but I think that it is too relaxed to search in the whole text because, for increased bone density, because it is a very common word. So I'll try to search in the title or abstract. What do you think? Okay, so I will take title or abstract, it is not wrong, like you are doing more, but I think like for at this stage, I can use only title and abstract and see if I do not get enough, I will relax to get what Diana said. So, however, when I put more than one word, okay, I would need to put quotation marks. Title or abstract, add with or, and carbon density. Add with or. Add to history. So now, osteoporosis, which had 2,600, now it has 3,000. Also not very much, but it might give me few papers that apply to this new query and discard this in the whole text. Add with and. Still, I'm not successful in finding anything. Okay, so do you suggest something else that I can do to relax my search more and find more papers?
I would like to ask, why did you add the quotation marks?
If I don't add quotation marks, it might be the case that PubMed searches for high alone, one alone, density alone in any order,
Okay.
and that will increase the results a lot.
Right, thank you.
You're welcome. And I also need to tell you something. We do not need that in here, but for example, if I have a neurological or any word that start with a neurologic, for example, and the ending might change. Or for example, neuropathy, neuropathies, neuropathic. Those are three terms that, for example, if I'm searching for a neuropathy and I just put neuropathy, I won't find the neuropathy and I won't find neuropathic, okay? But I need them. What can I do in this case? I will put neuropath because this is the common part of the word. But instead of putting the three options, I will put a star. Okay, so this star will give me neuropathy with Y, neuropathies with IES, neuropathic with IC. Okay, we do not need it now, but in case you need it, you will find this very easy to use the star. Grace, is there any question?
No, everything is clear. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so do you suggest anything else to relax my search even more?
I don't know.
I have, yeah, please.
Maybe change the citus for a different combination of words.
Yeah, Descartes. However, when I wanted to search like Descartes is a very rare case, is a very rare condition. So what I try to think about is going to the tree of Descartes and think, if I take instead of Descartes spondylitis, that will include spinal tuberculosis. It will also add spondyloarthritis. Okay, so it is not Descartes. It is now I'm adding more. Spondylitis can be in any joint. Okay. So let's relax it like this. So this is what you can see here. Instead of Descartes, I added spondylitis, which is a higher. So when I go higher in the branches of the tree, I will get more articles. Okay. So now I will go to the advanced search again. I will go to, where is it? I will add it as a mesh term because I got it from the tree. No, it is not this. Spondylitis. I add and add to history. So you can see the difference between discitis 2000, spondylitis 35,000. Okay, so let me check spondylitis, add query, and the 3,100 add to history. Aha. Now I got one paper that has marble bone disease as a disease, in addition to not discitis, but something close to it in the same classification. Okay, so do you agree on what I used?
Well, you have now tuberculosis, but I don't think that's what we were searching for.
Yeah, it is not. It is not. But I'm saying, what are my options in case I can relax my search? For example, if you remember, I was saying, okay, I have a case with discitis and marble bone disease. Okay, and when I searched, I found nothing close to it. So, is it preferable to write my case report and publish it without having any reference paper, or if I need a reference paper, I will need, if it is not exactly the same, I will need something marginal or similar to it. Okay, so do you agree this paper is the most similar I can find?
Yes.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. Okay, when my search is wide, is very wide, and I'm getting a lot of papers, I try to focus. Okay, if I'm using title and abstract and I'm getting thousands of papers, let me try title. Okay, to decrease the number of papers. But when I'm not getting anything, I need to relax. Either the terms, either the place where I'm searching, or I need to figure something out, right? So this is one of the options. I'm not saying that this is what we should do, and I can't consider this disease as discitis, but I'm saying, okay, I need papers, I need to search, I need to find papers, to read papers around my article. So I will need to read this one. Okay, so what other options do I have? Do you think I can apply what I applied to discitis to marble bone disease, like searching in title or abstract, or searching the whole text, right?
Yes.
So everything is a case that I can do, but I can also relax discitis alone. It is not a rule that I can only go one step further, because actually I'm holding on marble bone disease because it is a rare case, okay? And marble bone disease is the case that I think is the primary condition, and the spinal disease, the discitis, just occurred in a patient with marble bone disease. Why? Because discitis is not developmental, but marble bone disease is something genetic. It comes with the patient. So I can't say marble bone disease came to a patient with some kind of spinal disease. It is the other way around, right? So I also wanted to relax discitis more. Okay, so now you can see, now I have one paper, I return to advanced, and you can see them all in the same order, all saved in this history. I will add query, and you can, when you add something to the query from here to the query box, you can also edit here, but it is risky. It is better to start from add new items and be on the safe side. But here we can do it. What did we say? Disease. Why I'm using it and I'm sure about it? Because it is written here. Okay, I can't use a term in mesh term and I'm not sure it is someplace here in the tree. Okay, so spinal disease, let me search and see how many papers I get. 33 papers. So now I'm satisfied. I can write my case reports. I have 33 papers that talk about marble bone disease cases with other spinal cord disease, spinal diseases. Okay, diseases in the spine. So is that fine? Do you have any questions about PubMed? Please feel free, and if you face some kind of problem and it is not solved now, please also tell me that I faced that, and we'll try to figure something out. Yeah, please.
I wanted to ask, because yesterday we were talking about if you can save these papers somewhere in the PubMed.
Okay, so I can send it via email to my email, but this is the easy thing. I will open EndNote, which is a reference manager, and will show you another tool. So this is an old library. You don't need it. I will open a library, a new library. Call it E. Put it on desktop. Okay, now I have an empty library. Okay, I have here 33 papers. Send to Citation Manager. All the results on this page, create file. This is the file. I press on it. Okay, when I said send to Citation Manager, all results on this page, so they are only 10. Or I put all results, create file. Now they should be 33. So you can see here 33 in addition to the 10 I got before. So I can go to references, find duplicates. It will find 20. I will merge them. It will like give me the option, keep this or keep this. I will keep this, yeah, and it will delete 10 of them. Okay. So this is a way, this is how a library looks like. Okay, those are the papers. Here you can see the abstract, everything about each paper. Okay, I will provide you with tutorial for EndNote and Mendeley and other options. Okay, but for PubMed, is that fine? Can we move on to another database? Those are the basics. Of course, you can go more advanced, but the basics you have, I think, now.
Yes.
Perfect. So, the thing that, like, when you know more about the stuff inside there, you can do more. Okay, so not everybody needs to understand every tool in PubMed, but we need to understand something that is at least sufficient to give us the papers we need. Okay, if I need to write a case report, I need to find 33 papers to support my article. I need 10 references. I need to compare to something. So I need that, but it is not very important to find all the, like, I might have missed 1-2 papers, okay, but I tried my best and I got those. Of course, there are librarians that can do more efficient work, but I think this is sufficient for now. For example, for one of the studies, we had to search for skin biopsy in neuropathic pain, and the terms were not just those. It is actually a whole paper written with all the terms. You can see neuritis, neuralgia, small fiber neuropathy, all the terms for some condition, in addition to another column. And our example was very easy, just 2 columns. But it is an example to learn how. But when you read those 33 papers, of course, I might get, okay, I can use another term, and I add a term, and I subtract a term, and whatever I feel like to do. So let's move on to another database, Cochrane Library. This is a tutorial you can watch when you get the slides. And now let's go and try it. This is Cochrane Library. This is the homepage. Okay, if you can see on the right, there is a search box and an advanced search box. Okay, so here is the advanced search. We have also mesh terms here. Okay, if I can go to mesh terms, I will add marble bone disease. Marble bone disease, look up. It also gives me osteopetrosis. I select it and tell Cochrane Library to add it to the search manager. Search manager, it means the advanced search, but I can add more options, subtract some options. I added there. And now I'm on the page of search manager. Here it is another order. In PubMed, they order them from downside to the upper side. Here it is the other way around. But here I have mesh term, osteoporosis, explore all trees. Okay, and I also need to search mesh for discitis. Here we go. I want you to tell me, do you expect more articles or less articles on Cochrane Library?
Less articles?
Of course, because those are only systematic reviews, and systematic reviews are very advanced. So I actually do not expect anything about discitis at all, but we will try. Oh, sorry, I'm not expecting anything on marble bone disease because it's a rare disease. So I will select and add the line. Okay, so I have 5 studies for osteoporosis, 11 studies for discitis. You can see the number on the right. Okay, so how to merge them? Here I need to write it myself. I can't press add to query. Here I need to add it myself, and when I'm adding, I need to put a hashtag. Yeah, hashtag 43. It is line 43, and okay, and hashtag 44. Okay, so do you understand it now here? I can add and, add or, add not, whatever I want, but you can see here the lines above. But here I just need and, okay? And I need to keep it capitalized, the and. Okay, and I press continue and I expect 0. Okay, so 0 on. But in case I want to see the 5 from osteoporosis, I press on them, osteopetrosis, and I have the 5 of them here as a result. I also have filters for the year, the months. 3 of them are cited on PubMed. 2 of them are on clinicaltrial.gov. This is a registrar for randomized controlled trials. And here you can see it is not a Cochrane review. It is not even a Cochrane protocol. It is trials because osteopetrosis is a very rare disease and we do not have systematic reviews on it. So, are you satisfied with Cochrane Library and how to use it? Look at here. Okay, so you put lines, you put the line using either mesh, you press on the bottom mesh here and add the mesh, or in case you don't want, sorry, I don't want to search mesh. I exit. From here, from the S, I can search title or abstract, record title, abstract, all text, wherever I want. It's something similar to PubMed, so it is not difficult at all. Okay, the same strategy we used in PubMed can be used on Cochrane Library. Okay, so are you satisfied? Can we move on?
Yes.
Perfect. So now Google Scholar. Google Scholar is less advanced. It gives me less tools to manipulate my search. Okay, so let me go to this. This is Google Scholar, the home page. From the left, I can, yeah, of course, for Cochrane Library, for PubMed, I can write here in the advanced mode, but it is difficult. So it is much easier to go from the left to the advanced search. And here I have the advanced search. So it says on the first line, every word I type needs to be there. Okay, so what needs to be there? I will say disguises. Okay, then at least one of the words, because here we do not have mesh terms. Okay, Google Scholar is very general, so I will put in between brackets quotation marks marble bone disease and osteoporosis. So are you satisfied? One of those terms, osteopetrosis and marble bone disease, and I need discitis. Okay. So, and here I will put search anywhere in the article. Okay, I can put in the title, but in the title it will give me very strict search. Okay, so anywhere in the article it will give me, I think, more articles because here I'm relaxing both columns. Okay, so it should give me more articles than even PubMed. Okay, let's try. Okay, I have 96 articles. Okay, but the problem here, when I'm reading those articles, I will find one word of osteopetrosis and marble bone disease and discitis, but in the whole manuscript, so wherever they want to appear. Okay, so this is what I wanted to tell you about the three major parts of Google Scholar, Cochrane Library, PubMed. I want you now, as a small task, just go and try your same search you tried yesterday now and tell me if you have any problem, if you face any problem. And in 20 minutes, we will meet again. Okay, so I'm ready to answer your questions also by email. So how was it with Google Scholar, Cochrane Library, PubMed? Was everything doable, or is there any problem not solved yet?
I tried to search on Cochrane, and I had 3 words I used. I used sensory neural hearing loss, that in quotation marks, and then that was just, it was not a mesh word, it was just like in in all the.
If you want, you can share your screen and tell us if you faced something.
Okay, how do I do that?
From below, a green button, share screen.
It's not working now. I don't know. Oh, okay. Share screen, yes. So.
Okay. Now we see your screen.
And here, so I used these 3 words. Sensory neural hearing loss, then genetics, and then syndrome as a mesh word. And then I combined the 3 and gave me 0 search, 0 papers.
Yeah, but for genetics, what did you use? Like title or abstract or what?
I think I used a title and abstract or abstract.
If you click on it, please.
Like this?
Yeah. Because it says limits. If you can like add genetics again below. Yeah, here, but use the S. When you write immediately, it doesn't know where to search. So if you can cancel and use the S, try title and abstract, genetics.
Okay.
Okay. So now add. Okay. Can you try it now?
Okay, so I'll add #1 and #2 and #5.
Instead of 2, 4. Sorry, 1, 3, 1, 3, 5.
Yes, 3, 5, like this.
Still, there is no. So can you delete one of them? For example, if you delete 3.
Like this.
3. Can you click on them, please? So 3 trails. So, what was that okay with Cochrane?
Yeah. I guess I just have to go through it more and to find these little nuances in the system.
Yeah. And for each database you need to search, you can just watch a tutorial for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you will get more into details of their tools, their abbreviations, and everything.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I will provide you with all these tutorials. So now if we go back, so please send to the chat whatever you like to also be added to the presentation. I can also add it, prepare it, and send it to you with the whole presentation, so you don't need to search other places, because I watched several tutorials and I selected the best one for you. Okay. So we were in the break. So for COVID, since it is paid and we do not have a lot of time to discuss it, we will just provide tutorial for Ovid Embase and sorry, where is and Web of Science. Okay, reference manager. We talked about EndNote, and we will provide a Mendeley tutorial. Okay, so now how to choose a journal to publish your paper. First, we have a website, a very important website. It's called SkyMago. This website is very easy and straightforward. You go to Journal Ranks, Explore. You select the subject. For example, here we will select medicine. Then we will select category neuro. We can also select a country or a region. Here we need to select journal. Yeah, so here you can see the highest impact journals. So the H index, everything, how many papers cited per document for the last 2 years, 3 years, all those are measures of significance of the papers and the country they are published in. So you can see the Lancet, Brain, Nature, and everything. And you select from them which journal you need to apply to, and all the journals here in this website are trustworthy and you can submit your paper to. So what do you need to search when you get, okay, I got a list of 100 papers. Can I apply to any one of them? First, I need to search the scope. After I got them, they are all in neurology, but some of them are more concerned about Parkinson's disease, some about neuropathy, some about pain. There's a journal especially for pain. So I first need to search the scope. And including in the scope, I need to search if I'm publishing a case report. Those high impact journals do not publish case reports. Okay, so I need to lower my limit. I can't publish in the first 20 of them unless my case report is very significant. So I need to check the impact of my paper and the impact of the journal. If I'm publishing a high impact paper, then I need to aim for a high impact journal. Less impact paper, less impact journal. Then I need to check the fees. In case I'm not funded, my institution doesn't provide me with funds to for the publication fees. I need to search for journals that are that give us waiver, for example, in Syria, or that doesn't require a publication fee. Then I need to check the guidelines for authors. So for each journal of the journals you searched for yesterday, if you go to them, you'll see one of their tabs. It is guideline for authors, advices for authors. When you go there, they will tell you how the font should be, how long the paper should be, the word limit, how many items as figures and tables should be there, how to send the paper with the title paper, without the title paper, with the abstract, without the abstract, how many keywords you need to put. All these instructions, all these questions you have on mind, you will find them there. Then you will decide, okay, you have a team, who of you will be the correspondent author, and this author is the author that approaches the journal and reply to the comments. Of course, he can be helped by other members of the team, but he will be the contact person for the paper and for the whole project, and he will answer all the emails even 10 years after, and his email will be in that paper. Then you send and go through the submission and peer review process we discussed yesterday. What happened in case we follow those spam emails we get? Those telling, okay, hello. Sometimes they say, okay, hello, Professor Ibrahim Hanafi. Although I'm not a professor or anything. So they call you with wrong names sometimes, with wrong titles sometimes, and they are identified by a lot of email providers as spam, and they tell you, okay, we know that you are planning to publish a paper in rheumatology, although I do not know anything about rheumatology, and they tell you just follow the link and give us your paper, and this is what happens when you follow one of those links. Of course, some of them are normal journals, but they are seeking papers, but a lot of them are not like this. So you need to check each journal you apply, you submit your paper for. Those journals are called predatory journals. So what do? They charge you money, they take even very low number, or sometimes they ask for thousands of euros or dollars. Then the papers that published there, they do not get indexed in any of the databases. They do not get cited. They say that 60% of the papers published in these journals do not get any citation in the next 5 years, and scholars do not want to publish there. Is there any question?
Maybe we can interrupt for a moment. Yeah, there's a question on the chat. If we are a group working on a case, in what order should we put our names as authors? And if we have a supervising doctor who only gave us the case and checked it, where does their name go?
Yeah, actually, thank you first, Maya, and thank you, Elisa, for reading the question. Actually, there is no rule, no explicit rule, but when you go to journals, they say in their guidance for authors, they say you can't put ghost authors, those who do not write anything and do not provide anything and get their names published with the paper. You need to agree with the team. Of course, the first author should participate to the measure amount of work. But in case like he is not experienced and he is helped by the professor, like the professor checked and wrote many parts of the paper, you can't sometimes ask to be the first author. And it depends on how important is the project for him, for you, for everybody. So first of all, you need to discuss that with your own team, and then it should be fair to everybody. And if it is not fair, I think you should ask to be the first author in case you wrote, for example, 50% of the case report. So let's go to those predatory journals. You can go and check their websites. They will give you dead links. They approach you through emails from Gmail, from Yahoo, not from their official email addresses. They do not give DOI, which is the identifying number for the articles, and they charge money most of the cases. In some cases, they do not also charge money, and this seems enticing for the person, but you do not want your papers to go there. And you can also go to this website. There's a whole list of predatory journals, and you can check if your journal is side major and not on this website, then you are safe and you can apply. So now, when to cite what? First, there is no clear rule where to cite what. For example, can I cite a website here? Can I cite a paper that is published in 1994? Can I cite from Wikipedia? So there is no very clear rule, but there is something better than the other stuff. So the best thing is to cite a paper that is published in a peer-reviewed journal. And if this paper is better than the other papers, that would be more preferable. If you are citing a systematic review, it is better than citing a literature review, better than citing any other type of articles. So a lot of arguments can be said there, but we can, I think you all agree on that questionable resources, those websites are not recognized by WHO. You can't follow them and find the authors of each article in these websites. They do not have a very good reputation among your lab members. They are not peer reviewed, for example. All of those are considered questionable resources, so you need to avoid them. Okay, and because we are saying that we are searching even on Google, so sometimes we can get to sources that are not very useful for us, or useful, but sometimes we can't rely on them. Wikipedia, we can't use Wikipedia as a reference, but sometimes we can read from Wikipedia and use its references as our own references. So you can make use of it, but not cite it. Wikipedia can only be cited when you are working on a project that talks about Wikipedia. So I'm saying, okay, does Wikipedia provide wrong or correct information about this? And you are comparing Wikipedia to something else, and you are saying, okay, there is differences, there is something wrong, something bad. So you are discussing, and your material medium is Wikipedia. And for every website you wanna cite, you will say this site was accessed at this exact day, or this exact day, and you should download and save this because it can be changed, okay, especially Wikipedia. So for the websites, when you are talking about Mayo Clinic, WHO, websites from the NIH, National Institutes of Health, from NICE in the UK, all these websites are recognized by institutions and you can rely on them. But of course, you can't rely on blogs, posts, research articles that are not cited anywhere, and a lot of those can be found on Google Scholar. So please just check, even if you got the papers through a very good way, it can be published or placed in a very wrong place. So just read it and go into details when checking it, and do your own critical appraisal before citing any paper. So if I'm telling you, okay, now I'm writing my introduction, is it better to cite a peer-reviewed journal, a paper in a peer-reviewed journal, or a website? There is no rule, but what we can say, I can give you some examples and you can make your own common sense. For example, I'm saying schizophrenia is a serious chronic mental disorder. Where do you get this information from? Where do you expect an information like this should be cited from? Schizophrenia is a very common disease. So if you are telling me that a peer-reviewed journal, I would say there is no journal that has this epidemiological study around the world. But if you go to the WHO website, you can see that schizophrenia, its occurrence, the incidence of schizophrenia, the prevalence of it, the most common symptoms, okay, its distribution among males, females, those things for common diseases should be taken from important websites, because these websites, WHO, websites from NIH, are very reliable, and they care about those major figures about the diseases. Okay. So we can cite websites sometimes. When to cite books or publications other than peer-reviewed articles. For example, I'm doing a systematic review in Cochrane, and I'm referring to the handbook of Cochrane in my methods, in my protocol. So I need to put a citation for a book, okay? Because it is a handbook how to do systematic reviews. Sometimes I can refer to the ICD, which is the International Classification of Diseases. So this is a website, another source of information. I can also refer to DSM-5. DSM also is a book for classification of psychiatric diseases. So those are books, but they are very commonly cited. Otherwise, in all the other cases, it is better to cite a peer-reviewed paper in a peer-reviewed journal. Okay, but when we are talking about papers, we didn't go into details. We didn't talk about how many types of papers do we have. So we have secondary articles and primary articles. By primary articles, we mean the basic research reports, the clinical trials, the epidemiological studies, cross-sectional studies, cohort studies, case reports, whatever. By secondary studies, we are talking about literature reviews, systematic reviews. Tamam? Yeah. So for literature reviews, I can use them, but when I go there, I need to say, okay, I need to check, is this information from that person, or did he cite it from another place? So if it is cited from another place, I need to go to the original paper that published that data and extracted that finding from its own results and cite there, because he is the person who deserves to be cited. That review paper just summarized everything and put them together. So it is very good, but I can't cite it unless they came to a conclusion themselves. Systematic reviews, also the same rule applies. However, when I go, for example, to a paper, a basic research report, they have an introduction, methods, results, and discussion. So the methods are something that is not cited most of the times. You can cite 1-2 lines, but you do not have a lot of citations usually in the methods. So the introduction, can I cite from the introduction of somebody else? Not really, because the introduction of that person will be citations of other places. So I need to depend on the original papers. Can I cite things that he found in his own results? Yeah, this is the major part where I can cite him. Can I cite things that he found in his discussion? Yeah, we need to think about the discussion as we thought about literature reviews and systematic reviews. If it is his own conclusion without a citation at the end, then I cite it and refer to him. If it has a number, a citation, I go to the original paper that said that talked about this information. When I search, for example, now I search for my case report and I found 33 papers. Which are the most important papers to cite? I need to go to the pyramid of evidence-based medicine studies. So the highest level of evidence is the systematic reviews. And the lowest one is expert opinions, textbooks, background information, everything else. So you can't say the green bar, you can't use it. You can't say, actually, my professor told me about this and you cite him. You can't do that. The level higher from that is case reports and case series. Those are single cases. It is good to cite them, but the least possible quality of citations. Then you go higher to case control studies, cross-sectional studies, cohort studies. Those papers are more important, but they do not have the quality of randomized controlled trial. Randomized controlled trials, when we have the group distributed according to a randomized pattern, and I have more trust in randomized controlled trial because I'm doing the intervention. It is not like a cohort. I'm just seeing what is happening because in this case, something might happen and I'm not sure if it happened all alone or because of something that I don't know. But in the RCT, both of the groups are very similar and I'm just doing the intervention to one of them. Okay, systematic reviews depend on those RCTs and gather some RCTs and give me one conclusion, so it also comes higher. Don't forget, whenever you find a sentence with a citation at the end, don't cite this sentence, go to the original paper, that the first paper that mentioned this, even if you needed to go through a chain of papers, 10 papers, but you need to find the first person who mentioned this information, not the last one who did it. So this is what I wanted to tell you, but I'm absolutely ready to answer all your questions. We have 10 minutes, and I think it is enough to discuss whatever you want, and I can also answer all your questions. But first, till you prepare your questions, Maya, can you please tell them about the answer of task 2 yesterday, the difference between libraries and databases?
Hi, so is it okay if I speak?
Yeah.
Or do you want me to write it down? Okay, just a second. So I searched, I found an article on PubMed, and it said that databases are an unfiltered source of primary literature that comprises all different kinds of publication types in academic journals, such as journal articles, case reports, letters, comments, guidelines, legal cases, interviews, case trials, etc. While a library is a pre-filtered source which offers access to either synthesized specific publication types or critically appraised and carefully selected references. So that's what I found. Basically, what I understood from it is that, in a library, you find a certain type of publications, for example, systematic reviews. As for a database, you can find all sorts of types.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Maya. So I think this answers the questions very clearly. We can say Cochrane Library. Why? Because it only includes systematic reviews. Well, we can say Medline is a library because it includes everything. They do not have a filter. The whole journal goes into there. So, do you have any other question?
Actually, I have one question. If I'm writing a case report, do I write the introduction before I choose the journal, or do I choose the journal first and then write the introduction based on their requests, on their guidelines?
You can't finalize the introduction unless you know the journal, but you can draft it. Of course, like you can write 10 sentences and say, okay, this is my draft of the introduction, but you can say this is a final draft, because the journal sometimes ask you to provide only 10 citations, and in case you have 10 citations in your introduction, you won't be able to publish it with the discussion. Okay, so search for the journal as soon as you are satisfied with your work, with the case report, but not later. Not later, the soonest possible, but after you have a clear idea about your case, where to publish it, because in every report, and also for case reports, you need to think to whom you want to convey the information. Who are your audience? Okay, sometimes it can be a case report of two diseases between rheumatology and neurology. So would you like to target a neurologist? Because those journals are totally different from the journals of rheumatologists. Or do you like to publish it in a paper for neurology? Or do you want to publish it in a general case reports journal, which is easier also?
Okay. And how do I avoid plagiarism in the introduction, especially because you have to like cite most of the information there? How do I avoid plagiarism?
You write with your own words. You can't write, I think, more than four words in a row, similar to another paper. But the major thing is to write in your own words. So read whatever you want, then write in your own words and say this information, it should match the information said in that paper, but it should match the meaning. It shouldn't match the words.
Okay, thanks.
And after you draft everything, you can use one of the websites that check for plagiarism, and they can tell you, okay, these parts are, it might have a lot of plagiarism. They can sometimes give you a percentage, but in case you trust your work, you trust what you are writing, okay, that is not plagiarized, then you do not need to do it, because the journal will do it for you.
Okay, thank you.
Do you have any examples of these websites checking for plagiarism?
Actually, there are many. I think I've used 10 of them. So if you check and please try several ones. Okay. So because they will be more, you will add to the sensitivity of them when you use multiple websites. But they are very easy. You can see them whenever you search.
Okay. And I have another question. When you're writing a case study, do you write in the title that it's a case study? Is it a must or is it optional?
Not a must, but a lot of them, most of them, I would say, write it in the title.
Okay. And I have a question. How do you cite an expert opinion? Because you said you can use an expert opinion in your
Is the expert on your team?
Well, for example.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Is he
Yes.
on your team? Okay, so you should put that in your conclusion or in your discussion. To our knowledge, to our experience, we noticed something like this, but you should know that this is the least important information to add.
Yeah, okay.
You're welcome.
Okay.
And anybody else has any question?
Is there any option to immediately see in which category the paper goes? Because you showed us this pyramid, and if I think of it, you need a very strict definition to check in which category the paper belongs, and you don't see it in the title, right?
Yeah, no, actually, most of the case reports write in the title that it is a case report, but all other studies, including RCTs, they do not have to. So most of them do not mention that on their title, but in 99% of the cases, when you read the abstract, you will know if it is a basic research, if it is a randomized control trial, a cross-sectional, a cohort study, a case control study. Yeah, so most likely from the abstract. And sometimes you can read the whole paper and you can't find where the study design is. But yeah, yeah, but when you read the whole paper and you try to criticize it, you will know where to place it. And this pyramid is not very strict. There are RCTs that are worse than cohort studies. If a cohort study is very good and an RCT has a very big limitation, it can go down. So it is like a primary, it gives you a primary idea, but actually I can't judge your critical appraisal because you were very critical in our presentations in the master. So Elisa, you can do a lot. You can ruin a lot of presentations and papers.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so then if there is nothing else to discuss, I welcome your questions whenever you want. Just please approach me. I think you have your my email and also my phone number, and I'll send you the record of this session, as well as the whole presentation with the tutorials and everything. And please feel free to send me what else do you want to be included in the handouts in the coming hour. So I was very pleased to meet you all, and it was a lot of fun for me to prepare, and I hope to meet you in person, in case I don't.
Thank you very much.
You're
Thanks a lot.
welcome. So goodbye, and thank you, Maya, again for your answer for the task, and I hope you do the other tasks on yourself. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.